Okay, hopefully that's recording. For the purposes of recording, good evening or good morning whenever you're watching this. Hope you're okay. If you do have any questions whilst you're doing this, please just let me know, no problem. We have a little bit of request for shoulders stretch out today because they're a little bit sore. So I'll be concentrating on that for a little bit. Okay, so if we could, today I want you to start on the floor. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. If you do have handy cushion or something a bit softer, if you need it, I'll bring that in as and when required, because if knees are a little bit sore or you just want to relax a bit more, then we'll grab that as and when you need to. So today, slightly differently, I want to start on all fours. So we're going to start in this position today. Especially if we're going to do a little bit of shoulder workout, we'll sort of start there. So onto all fours. And I'd just like you to close your eyes. Now, I do ask you to end up sort of trying to be a bit more present in the room and just trying to relax. So if you close your eyes in this position, and I know this is going to sound really strange, but slightly let yourself float. So if you actually, you'll find that you'll sort of just float around slightly if you close your eyes and just relax. And I really want you to do that and just sort of feel where your body's taking you. And it might just sort of slightly go to one side and just feel that little float. Don't worry about what your tummy is doing at the moment. Just try and feel relaxed and just sort of think, yep, okay, it's Pilates time. I'm going to get into my space for an hour rather than worrying about work or the kids or any family related things. Okay, just take 3 deep breaths in. Just really relax. Sweetheart, you're going to have to turn that right down, please. And one more, breathe in. And relax. Okay, open your eyes. And now I want you to sort of engage the situation a bit more. And so be like, okay, right. I'm relaxed, but I need to just engage. So straighten your arms a little bit more. We're looking just ahead of you. And just pull your tummy in and just tighten everything. So it should go from sort of this to just a bit more engaged, okay? Now what I want you to do is, we're going to start nice and simple with this, is I want you to lift one hand and place it on your leg. Okay, so opposite leg. Opposite leg. And what that will do is very slightly just wake up one shoulder. Bring your hand down. Swap your weight and then do exactly the same thing. So it's a very subtle swap. This will just wake up a few muscle groups that need to do some work. Bring your hand down. Let's do that again. So up and across. And just touch that thigh wherever it ends. And back. And then across. Hold it. And back. Lovely. Right, we're just going to wake up lower half a little bit more now. So all I want you to do is just push your leg back. You don't even need to take it off the floor yet. Just keep everything nice and still. And what I want you to try and avoid doing is twisting that hip. So keep your hip bones facing down. Toes on the floor still. And bring it in. And swap your weight. And bring that out. Just wake up your system very, very mildly. And bring it in. Right, we're going to stay on the lower. I want you to bring that leg out a little bit. Okay, and then we're just going to do a little tiny lift and down. Tiny lift. So you don't even have to come right up. Okay, I just want a little tiny lift. Keep your legs straight. Just feel balanced at the front. Keep those hips down. And let's go one more little tap. Lift. Okay. Swapping legs. So bring yourself out, nice and straight, and then a little lift and a tap. So as I said, it doesn't need to be right up here. We'll do that in a minute. Just a lift off the floor and just get your hips just warmed up and your glute just having to hold you there. Let's go one more. And relax down. Okay. So we're going to go into a cat stretch and a cow stretch. So just again, just make sure you're feeling stable. We're going to come all the way up, drop the head, just lift nice and gently for now. Come through and release. Just start nice and gently. Okay, don't think, oh, I've got to go all the way up. We'll get there in a minute. Just come up nice and gently, just a little tuck under, through, and release. Right, now when you do it, I just want you to mildly exaggerate what you've just done. So you're coming up, and then I want you to think, right, I'm coming up, now really try and squeeze it up. So just think, like, belly button, up to that spine, come through to center, and then sink down, think, right, I'm sunk, and then really push it. So there's a little final push down, a little tiny curve. What's not helpful is I've got something dark behind me, so you can't really see the curve because I've got a dark top on as well. Let's go one more. So coming all the way up, curve, really breathe that in. Through to center, drop it down, and then really curve it. Okay, so just think belly button, right down, head forwards. Okay, come up to where you view is center. Lovely. Right, so let's expand what we did before on all fours. Can I just make a note that if your knees are starting to get aggravated, just get a cushion. Okay, that's what the cushion's for. So I'm going to put that on there so you can see what the options are. And if your wrists are starting to get annoyed, particularly Nessie, just stop and just give them a little shake off, okay, at any point. If they just, because you're holding your weight on them for a length of time. So at all points, just make sure you're comfortable. So let's start with the hands again. So instead of putting them here, I want you to bring it out here. Okay, so we're just going to bring, I'm going to move backwards, sorry. I'm just going to bring one hand out, okay, keep that right by your ear, and just let the other arm do the work. Just pull that core in, engage the core, and bring it down. Let's swap your weight, so flow that up. The other arm, so it might feel a little bit harder on one side than the other, it's okay. Your body reacting. And swap back again, so back over and up. Really think, right, okay, just really start to feel this in my shoulders now. Harry, sweetie, you're going to have to turn that down, it's too loud. Thank you. All the way up. Apologies, everyone. And bringing it down on, that's it. Redistribute your weight, just give you a little wriggle if you need to. So let's bring our leg back. And this time, instead of just a little movement, I want you to bring it right up. So you're feeling like you're flat all the way across. So if I put a ruler, one of those long school rulers across, it would be balanced. That's it. Just redistribute your weight if you need it. If it's too far back on your leg, just come forwards. If it's too far forwards, come back. Hold it here. Right, we're going to add a little bend. So if you can see that, I'm just in camera. So bend and straighten. Now this should wake up your hamstring, which is at the back. Bend and straighten. It shouldn't hurt your knee. Okay, if your knee's starting to get aggravated, let me know. And bring it in and out. Let's go one more. So straight point, bring it in, and then we're going to bring it down. Good. Okay, redistribute your weight. Bringing that leg up now. And please just again, just note what your hips are doing. If they're starting to twist like that, try and bring them back down so they're equal and facing the floor. Just get that position right. So just keep thinking, right, Rebecca's balanced, a long ruler on my back. That's it, hold it there. Right, so let's start that bend. So bend it in and straighten it away. Keep your toe pointed. It just helps with keeping your balance. Bring it in. Concentration on what you're doing. Bring it in. And one more. Good, and bring it down. Excellent. Right, now what you should feel, particularly Ursula, is that your glutes should have woken up. And your hamstrings should have woken up, and your shoulders should have woken up. So we're going to do some little circles around, and this should just release everything out. So just think, I'm drawing a big circle around with your hips. So you're sort of slightly coming up into a cat and a cow on this. And let's circle the other way. So up and circle round. That's it. Up, circle round. And one more, come to center. Okay, really nice shoulder stretch, which is one for the request, is just slightly go wider with your knees, and then we're going to thread the needle. So bring that arm through, drop down, drop your head, and put your hand nice and squarely on the floor. So your bum can be right up in the air, or it can be your knees further in and your lower down, whichever is more comfortable. I'm sort of going to go halfway, I think, today. So really try and relax the shoulder and your ear to the floor. I'm going to start here. Okay, and rolling it up. And let's bring that through and down. Drop your head. Try really hard to relax. Good. Okay, let's bring ourselves up. And let's come back again. So if you bring it back through, and then we're going to twist your head. And with the hand that was on the floor, you can lift that up. If you're like, no, that's too much, then of course, keep your toes on the floor, hands nice, and then just twist around, okay? That gets a really good old stretch going there. It's quite strong. Hand down, feed your way out of that. And then we're going to swap. So all the way down, twist and up. A really good shoulder stretch on the go here. It's also absolutely lovely on your back. I've got a niggle right there. This is works a treat. Hand down and roll your way back up. Lovely. Right. So I want to do a tiny bit more in the Superman position. So a bit more traditionally, I want to lift one leg in the opposite hand. So we're going to lift that leg straight, arm out and lift. Okay. Now with this, I have put a glass of water on your back. So you can't move. Just tuck that tummy in. Just engage your core. Your stare should be just in front of you, just in front of your hand. Hold it here. So if you're sort of starting to waver around, really trying to still your mind, okay? Just try and keep everything nice and still. Hand down, leg down. Swapping sides, so just reorganize yourself. Leg out, arm out and lift. I could feel one side might be a little bit easier than the other one. Try really hard just to still your mind. And if you're thinking I'm leaning back too far, just rebalance yourself, rewrite yourself up. And breathe. Rely on your core. Hand down, leg down. Excellent. Right, let's make that a little bit harder. So we're going to come out to the side this time. Right out to the side, and then you're going to bring your leg up and then out. So go up first. If you can see what I'm doing there, it's just a very small move out. So your hip should still be down. I don't want it twisting. So bring that out. This is quite a lot harder. So if you're struggling, don't bring your leg out or don't bring your hand out. Just try one. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1. Hand down, leg in and down. Okay, so let's do the other thing on the side. Just remember, come up and out, up first and then out with that leg. So let's come up, out, and then hand out to the side. Hold it there. Keep that core nice and tight. 3, 2, and 1. Hand down. Leg back to the center and back in. Wonderful. Right, picking your feet up. We're going to do a little dog wag. Just release yourself out of that one. Good. Okay, so whilst we're in this position, I want to do another little tiny stretch for your shoulders, but then we're going to have a look at those arm muscles, see what they're doing this evening. Just apologies, I'm just going to move backwards slightly because I'm going to end up in the sofa if I'm not careful. So, bring your hands forwards and then we're going to sit back. Okay, tucking your toes under and drop your head down. Just try really hard to relax. A nice child's pose. This really should help your shoulders. Now, whilst you're here, little tiny rocks from side to side. So you should exaggerate the stretch. One and the other. Okay, bring it back to center. And then you're going to come forwards. Okay, not quite into a cobra. Just bring it forwards, okay? So it looks like you're just about to do a press up, which funnily enough, you are. Bring it back. Oh, I lost connectivity, couldn't do it. So I'm just going to move back or I'll hit the sofa. So bring it back, touch the floor. Let those shoulders relax. Bring it forward. And now, if you can, I want you to dip your hips down a little further. Okay. Now, if you're like, that's hurting my back, I want you to stay up here. If you're like, no, that's fine, then you're going to come into a full cobra. Because I'm on the mat, my hips aren't actually on the floor, but your hips should be on the floor. Please don't come into this if it's hurting your back, because it shouldn't. It should not pinch your back. It should be nice. Okay, bring yourself back up, and let's do that one more time. So really lean forward and really try and stretch out those shoulders and drop your shoulder blades down. Coming up, just nice and slowly. So you're coming through to that plank position and then dropping it down into your cobra. And I will repeat this. Don't do this if it's too hard, if it's pinching. Okay, and use your tummy muscles and bring yourself back up. Right, now we're going to come down. Just tuck your nose quickly, and then we're going to come into, you might just need to rearrange your hands very slightly, plank position, and then you're going to very slowly bring yourself down onto the floor. Now, whilst you're on the floor, just have a little relax and just give yourself a little wriggle. Okay, deep breath in, and then you're going to lift. But I want the pivot point to be your knees, not your back, not your hips. So deep breath in, and squeeze, and lift, okay? Try to come up as one, not the easiest. Bring yourself back nice and gently, just touch your nose or forehead. Bring it forwards and roll it down. Deep breath in, just relax. And on the out breath, just squeeze your glutes and bring your tummy in. I don't know if it's quite subtle, but if you can see that, just squeeze and lift. Let's go one more time. So his arms should have woken up by now. Press it down and touch. Come forwards. Squeeze and down. Deep breath in. Squeeze and lift. Beautiful. You've managed that. Excellent work. Right, so let's now come back onto our heels. So if that is quite uncomfortable, do sit on the floor, but it shouldn't be, we shouldn't be here for too long. So just back onto heels if you're able to. And I just want to have a look at the planes of your back movement. So just making sure the backs are okay, and particularly Polly, I know your back gets quite sore. So one hand to the side, bring your arm up, hand towards the floor. But what we're trying not to do is that, okay? So try and keep upright and just bend right over. Hand on the floor if you can. Now, we're going to sweep our way forwards and round. So please make sure that you've got space in front of you. You're going to sweep forwards, touch the floor, sweep forwards if you can see that. And then you're going to come up to the other side. So try to come right upright, exactly as you were before. Now we're going to swing that over and do exactly the same thing before we do it the other side. So as you were, swing it forwards, just feel that a little bit in your hips. And come to the other side and bring it up. Nice, right. Now let's go the other way. So it might feel a bit weird, one way or the other. So up and over. Hold it there for a second, get that beautiful stretch. Swing it forwards, get your hip flexors to do something. And then come to the side, hold it. And bring yourself over. And bring it forwards, sweep, and hold it to the side, and back up. Lovely. Okay. Right. So in this position, I don't really want to stay in here for too long because it gets a bit crampy. I want you to swing your legs around. So if you just come to the side, swing your legs around. Just bring them in front of you. Right. Just give your legs a little jig. Okay, let's start with those toes. You can't see, sorry, they're just off of camera. So I just want you to give your toes a wriggle and your ankles a little roll. So I'm doing that with my ankles. Just give them a roll. Okay, just give your legs a jig again. Now, take one leg and I want you to hold on to it. So nice and big bear hug onto that. Hold onto that leg and you're going to lift your foot off the floor. Really squeeze it nice and tight. And you should feel your hip flexor just having to stretch and do a little bit of work. Okay, putting that foot down and slide it down. Other leg up, give it a big hug. A big well-deserved, I've got through the week nearly hug. Lift it right in and the foot's off the floor. And you're just feeling that hip flexor at the bottom squeezing. Good, and release and bring it down. I'm going to just turn to the side so you can see what we're going to do next. But we're going to actually just get your core to involve now. So exactly the same thing. So bring one knee in and hug it and keep it close to you. Now, without stacking it, I want you to lean backwards and just get that lower core involved, because if you don't, you'll fall. So you've got hold of everything, keep it nice and tight to you, lean back. So this is a similar sort of position that your back is into a Russian twist. So you're going to bring yourself back. Now, if you can, you're going to lift that leg off the floor. Yes. If you're able to do this, whoa, whoa. Hip flexors doing some work, quads doing some work, lower abs doing some work. Hold it here. Bring it down and slowly bring yourself back up. If you manage that, loving your work. Just release. Let's swap legs. Okay, so let's hold on really nice and tight. Get a good old grip. And then just nice and gently, there's no hurry on this. Just bring yourself back. Might be worse on one leg than the other. Find out in a sec. Hold it. And then you're going to lift that leg. Once you're at that balance point, lift your leg. Whoa. Can we do it? And down and back up. Lovely. Good. Right, hip flex has certainly woken up now. Let's see what else they can do. So bring those feet in, and I want you to lift one leg off the floor, hands to the just to the floor to balance. Now I want you to think, right, come on, good posture here, back nice and straight, and get that nice little V shape. Hold it, shoulders nice and relaxed, and let's swap legs. So you're pointing your toe and lift. Hold it there. That doesn't really take two guesses to know what we're going to be doing. Let's do both. You know me well. Let's just make it harder. So if you're like, oh, just one foot down again, okay? That should be right there, okay? Really not easy. Hold it, bring it down, and curl it forwards and relax. Good. Okay, so if you were like, the Bex, that's quite hard enough, thank you very much, then do that again. If you're like, no, okay, that's not too bad, I want you to lift your legs a little bit straighter, okay? Not straight, straighter. So hands down, lean back. Let's pick one up. Let's pick the other one up. Just make sure you've got that balance, right? Okay, so you're not rocking all over the place. And then when you're feeling comfortable, we're going to lift that higher. So sort of tabletop, 90 degrees. Holding it here. Hands off the floor if you can. Good. 3, 2, 1. Hands down, one foot, the other foot come forwards. Excellent. Okay, so if you manage that, excellent work. I'm just going to slide very slightly backwards. Now we're going to try the tough one. I really wouldn't try this for too long. If you can just get them up there and just hold them, we'll try the more advanced one. So that is a straight leg full V sit. You might need to lean further backwards to get this right, but give it a go. So we're going to try and do this piecemeal. So bring your feet up. Okay, now either do one leg at a time or both legs, and just lean backwards slightly. Legs straight if you can, and then you just need to balance. Hands off the floor. 3, 2, 1. Hands down, bring it down, and rock forward. If you manage that, very, very well done. That's not easy. So just to come out of that, I want you to cross your legs and just relax your hips out. I'm just going to turn. You don't need to move. I'll just turn to the front and just bring your elbows on top of your knees and just relax that out. Oh, hip flexors had to do some work there. Well done. Now, if they are tight from sitting down all day, we'll get a nice little relax out of that. So breathe in and release. Breathe out and sink down. Drop your head. Breathe in, release, and drop down. Let's go one more. Breathe in, release. Drop down and sink. Lovely. Hold it there. That should feel nice. Okay. Right. A little bit further on the core, and then I will remember to do a big old hip flexor stretch out towards the end. So, similar position to where we were. I just want you to drop one leg and hold one leg in. Now, nice and slowly, you've got a big grip on that, so you can either do that grip or this grip. This one's a little bit easier. I want you to roll it down. So try really hard not to drag your leg. Curl it down. Try really hard. Curl and try really hard not to drop. Flop onto the floor. So we've got hold of that leg. I just want you to keep hold of that leg. And really try and relax your shoulders. Okay, bringing that leg up, put your foot on, and then you're going to bring that away. Okay, so you're creating a triangle, hand on one hip, other hand on your knee, and just bring that away. That should feel nice rather than painful. Okay, just release your knee and then take your hands and we're going to thread that through and we're going to do quite a strong stretch there. This is quite a strong hip stretch. If it's too strong, then you can either just bring your head up or you can hold on to it a less. But the full thing is right round your leg and drop your head. And you should be feeling that all the way around here. Okay, this hip. Lovely. Okay, just nice and just slowly release that leg. So let's do exactly the same from the other side. So you're going to drop your leg down that you've just been working. Take the other knee that you haven't held yet, and just bring that nice and close to you. Lovely hip flexor stretch, this one. Relax your shoulders. Okay, let's bring that leg up. Put your foot onto it, knee out. Hold onto one hip, hand on the other, on the knee. Just push that away. Now, it might be that you actually have to push it away quite far to feel that stretch. But wherever's best for you. Good. Release that knee, and then you're going to pick up the other leg. Drop your head down. And again, on one side might be stiffer than the other, so just do what you can do on each side. Let that hip relax. Okay, just drop that leg down and bring your foot down. Lovely, just give it a little wriggle. Right, okay, so a little bit further with your core work. I'm just gonna, sorry, rearrange. Oh dear, got to be comfortable. So first of all, I want you to understand what muscles are working at different points. So let's just get them woken up. So let's start with the top one. So if you can just feel your ribs and just feel underneath your ribs, it's the first two. So if you just give them a little squeeze before you've done anything, they should feel nice and soft. Okay, then I want you to breathe in and try and squeeze them. So breathe in and engage them. Now, it's not so easy to breathe with the top ones, so just give them a prod and be like, yeah, oh, they're engaged. And breathe out. Good. Okay, let's come a little bit further down. So again, sort of belly button. That should be, especially in my case, nice and squidgy. Take a deep breath in and engage them. Breathe out. Just remember to breathe. They should be much more engaged now. Back should be flat on the floor. And release. Okay, the bottom one's a little bit harder. So again, find your hip bones. Just come slightly further in. Take a deep breath and then you're going to engage those lower abs. So deep breath in and engage. That's it. They should be much more solid. Hold it. Remember to breathe. A bit easier to breathe on this one. And release. Wonderful. Okay. So they should all be like, yep, okay, they're there. They're woken up. So let's do some exercises to work each of those sets in general. So hands behind your head for the first one. This is going to be your top set. So elbows nice and wide. And we're going to just lift your head off the floor. Just feel the weight of your head. It should be on your shoulders, actually, the pressure. Take a deep breath in. And then you're going to curl that up nice and slowly, and then eventually lift your shoulders off the floor. Now, if you've got this right, I'm shaking like a leaf already. You really need to slowly peel yourself off the floor and just try and get those shoulders right off the floor. It is not easy to see that because I'm wearing black and it's dark under, but hopefully you can see shoulder blades right off the floor. Curl it down really slowly and your head back on the floor last. Re-engage your elbows back onto the floor. So just rearrange yourself, just make sure you feel comfortable. Let's lift that head first. Heavy head, feel that head, feel all that weight on your hands. And then you're going to start to peel off, use your breathing, breathe out. Peel off, peel off, peel off, peel off. Oh, as soon as you engage, really fully engage those. They should be shaking. Really try and one final little push up and then slowly bring it down. Apologies for my voice slightly going there because I'm shaking all the way down and release. Right, let's go one more. So just make yourself comfortable first. Head off the floor. Really feel that weight. And then we're going to slowly engage and peel. Top two abs really doing the majority of the work here. Peel it off. Now, one final squeeze right up. That's it. Really lift it off. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Shake, 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 shake. And down. Nice and slowly. Elbows out. Head back onto the floor. Amazingness. Right. Okay. So second, slightly lower down, second and third set really, is we need to lift up a little bit more. So I just want you to put your hands onto your thighs, just lengthen your legs very slightly. So now we're going to roll up, go past the point as to where we were, and we're going to try and noisy little dog, reach up towards your knees. So again, I really want you to do it that slowly. So lift your head, curl, 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 curl. Now when you do this now, you should be slightly higher and you should feel the middle doing a bit more work. Top set's already engaged, middle set has to do some work now. Now if this is really starting to hurt your neck, I just want you to put one hand behind, just hold it. But again, it should be shaking, you should be like, ah. And roll it down nice and slowly. Roll it down, and relax. Good, give it a little wriggle. Okay, let's do that again. Remember, if you're feeling it in the front of your neck, it shouldn't be. You just need to put your hand behind your head. So we're going to curl it up, chin towards your chest, roll it up, roll it up, roll it up, really squeeze. I'm going to do that. Squeeze it up. Try and get your knees. Oh, come on. 3, 2, 1, and roll it down. Oh, nice and slowly and relax. Excellent work. Right, let's go one more. So curl it up, roll it up. If it's hurting your neck, hand behind your head. Really squeeze it up. And that last moment, go for those knees. Stay there. Really feel the middle here. And 3, 2, 1, and curl it down, roll it down, curl, 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 curl. Relax, breathe, and rest down. Excellent. Right, let's try and do some work for lower now. So I want you to put your hands underneath your bum. So just lift up and put your hands underneath your bum now. So those feet should be off the floor. Your hands create a platform for your back. So it's actually pushed a little bit further into the floor, which is helpful. So we're going to start with it fairly easy, and then go a little bit harder. So pushing one leg out. So we're going to point those toes, pushing one leg out, nice and slowly, and really try and lengthen that. Now, as your leg's out, I want you to think, it doesn't matter about my leg, it matters about my back. So if you're starting to sort of tilt like this, just really try and keep that back to the floor. And then you're going to bring that knee in. Ursula, if this is starting, because I know this can aggravate your back, just don't straighten your leg so much. Okay, so just keep it bent. Bring your leg out. Really try and squeeze your core to get that back on the floor. Lengthen that leg and bring it in. Excellent. Right, if you've mastered that and you're like, no problem. So we're going to go both. If you're like, no, still not. Just go one at a time. Okay, so we're going to bring that up nice and slowly. Really try and concentrate. Bring it out. Really squeeze those glutes. Squeeze the core. Nice and straight. Excellent. And bring it back in. Very nice. Slower this is, the harder it is. Good. Let's go again. So as soon as you're in, we're reversing back out. Make sure those hands are in the right place. slowly. Try and do it nice and slowly. Really engage that core. Push the back. Straighten your legs. Squeeze your glutes. There. Nice pencil shape. And then reverse just as slowly. Very much more difficult reversing it. And bring it back in. Very nice. Okay, just release your hands. And we're just going to do some little rocks. Good. Okay, feet down. Let's release those core muscles. So just bring your hands to the side and just flop to one side. Best stretch ever. Oh, so all the way around your spine, all the way around your abs. Big deep breath and relax. Oh, excellent work. Okay, deep breath in, up and over. Good. Holding it here. Nice and relaxed. And deep breath in and up to the center. Nice. Okay. So one final little finisher for our core is I want you to bring your hands in front and then your legs long. Okay, so you're sort of in a little pencil shape. Just keep your legs engaged as opposed to flopping them out. And then we're going to lift the head and you're going to roll up. Now, the art of the roll up, roll down, I want you to really try and concentrate on that speed. So we're going to reach forward for those toes. And then we're going to come back nice and slowly and try really hard to tuck your pelvis under. Nice and slowly. Use the tummy as a brake. It's very engaged now. All the way back. Just try and keep that speed. Bring your arms back if there's not a sofa in the way. Deep breath in. Relax. Bring it up. Lift your head. Lift. Good. Excellent. Let's go one more. Bringing it forward and touch those toes. And you're going to bring it back. Tilt your pelvis under. Nice and slowly. Slow, 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 slow. Excellent. And on the way back, just take your time. Arms straight if you can. Deep breath. Relax out. Lift. Lift your head. And squeeze and roll. Try really hard to avoid that little jumpy bit. Excellent. Up to sitting. Well done. Right, just give your legs a little dig out. Fantastic. Let's just roll those shoulders a little bit. Good. And then just a little tiny twist whilst we're here. And a little tiny twist the other way. Oh, good. Okay, so been on the floor for a while now, so I want to spin around and we're going to come up. Do a few little exercises standing up before we finish. So just tuck your toes under. We're going to come into a downward dog position. So hands out, curl up and lift. Okay, just push that back and you should feel that right down the back of your legs. Just stretch out your back. Nice and relaxed. Come up onto your toes without it cramping, hopefully, and bring it back down. Now, this time I would normally say walk your hands back to your feet. I want you to try and walk your feet forwards to your hands. It's not actually as easy. And at some point, you'll probably have to lift your hands off. That's it. Right, holding it here. Just keep your head dropped. Relax. And then we're rolling it up nice and slowly. Nice and slowly. Curl, 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 curl. Head last. Arms up. Come up onto your toes if you can. Lift. More. Nice big stretch and release down. Marvelous and wonderful, everyone. Right, I'm just going to move the camera so you can see me. There we go. Okie dokie. So let's finish with a nice little bit of balance, shall we? So I'm going to keep it simple today. which is rare. So let's balance on one foot, and then I want you to put your leg to the side. Okay, there are a few ways of doing this. So on the floor, on the side of your, so just underneath your knee, and then just above your knee. So this might slip. So I just want you to just take a note as to which one you can do. What I'm going to, that's the one, I'm going to actually bring it down because of what I'm wearing, it's going to slip. So I'm going to bring it here today. If you can bring it further up, please do, as long as it's comfortable. But if you're like, no, I'm wobbling all over the place, just bring your foot just down to the floor. Okay, that will provide a little bit more stability. Hands to the center, hands to your chest. And let's just start here. Now, I would advise not looking at the screen on this one. Just look slightly above or slightly below and just relax. Relax your shoulders and relax your mind. Hold it here. Excellent. Foot down, hands down. Good. Give it a little wriggle. Excellent. Right. Pass to that foot. And we're going to bring your foot up. So whichever position. So we're here, there, or right up. One side is always easier than the other. Just try and relax your mind. Hold it here. Hands down, foot down. Wonderful, beautiful. Right. That was a slightly easier one. Now let's make it a teeny tiny bit harder. So we're going to go nice and wide with this one. So I want you to sink down, and we're going to start with your hands down. So I'm actually going to do this to the side because you're going to be able to see a little bit easier. So nice and wide with your legs. Then we're going to sink down. So hands to the center and sink right down. Now, some people's flexibility on this are a lot better than others. Mine is distinctly average, actually. So if you can sink lower than this, then please do. And then we're going to bring our hands down. So try and keep your back flat. And you're going to bring your hands down to the floor if you can. Now, I can't quite do that. That's bent. So keep your back straight. If your hands touch the floor, then great. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands back. Should be shaking. And come on, legs. That's it. Right. Okay, so let's do a slightly advanced version of that. If you're like, no, my darling, I'm not doing any more advanced than that, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to turn this way so you can see what my arms are going to do now. So bringing it down nice and slowly, so you're into your sumo stance. We're going to bring our hands down. If you can touch the floor, fantastic. And then you're going to bring one arm up. So just bring that hand to the side and bring one arm up. So you should be all the way across, if that makes sense. Lift up and look at your hand and sink down. Sink right down. Holding it here. My God, leg burning. And bring it back down. Oh, and the other side. That's it. Now, it might be that you can reach the floor on this one, but just make sure that you're balanced. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, hands to the center, and bring it up. Oh, my legs. Oh, that's brilliant. Well done. Right, just jump your legs together nice and gently and just give your legs a shake. Very, very well done if you managed that one. Excellent work. Right, so a combination stretch and balance to finish. So I just want you to bring your leg up. It's sort of mirroring what we did about half an hour ago. Oh dear. I'll start that again. Bring your knees up and lift. It's a dog, he's staring at me. So we're just going to give our ankles a little roll. And then just a little pull right in, hip flexor. Nice and straight with your balance and your posture. Bringing it down. Okay, swapping legs. So holding on nice and tight and lift. Get your balance first, and we're just going to roll that ankle. Good. Pull right in, get your balance. Nice and strong. and release. Wonderful if you manage that. Okay, final little shake. Wonderful. Right, finishing as we always do with a nice little sweep. So hip width apart, bringing it down all the way up. Deep breath in and lift and bringing it down. So always optional to close your eyes if you want to, if you're feeling completely insane. Really challenge yourself on that one. Funnily enough, I'm not going to be closing my eyes today. My God, all the way up. Lift, squeeze, and nice and tall, and bring yourself down. Absolutely wonderful. Very, very well done, everyone. Hopefully you should be feeling beautiful and wonderful.